Hey folks, how you doing? This is Brian here again on the Seven Aspects channel. Uh, the seven aspects being, your spiritual aspect, the spiritual aspect of your life, the soul aspect of your life, the physical body aspect of your life, the financial aspect of your life, the social aspect of your life, the rejuvenation slash renewal aspect of your life, and that last but definitely not least, the duplication aspect of your life. That's what the seven aspects are. And what are the seven aspects for? What's the purpose? Why do they exist? They are a way to make it clear, to have a good structure of the vehicle that you use to take you to your destination as you live your purpose day to day, as you chase your dreams and goals day to day. It's a vehicle that helps you to do that with minimal if you optimize and make sure that every aspect of your life is working, is in good condition, that nothing's missing and everything's updated and upgraded, and that and everything's, and after that everything is moving towards mastery. And once you're mastering anything, it starts to prosper. So it means that the seven aspects are, if they're doing good, then you have minimal distractions as you move towards the destination of your life, living your purpose, fulfilling your purpose day to day. So that's what it's really about. That's what the seven, they are a vehicle. But this video today is not, I'm not talking about a deep explanation of each and every aspect, but in later videos I will be explaining into details each and every aspect of our lives, and what it might pertain for you to make it, improve it, upgrade it, take it to the next level, master it, this is what after searching and reading and listening to people who are smarter than me, this is what ended up, it kind of built itself as I listened to people, as I was going through challenges and looking for answers, looking for knowledge, looking for understanding, looking for wisdom. This is how this seven aspects kind of just built themselves, like they started emerging, like I never expected to ever come to that conclusion, but eventually, after all that search and reading and listening to people who are way better than me, kind of just started emerging and ended up having seven aspects. So, but the video today is about the last video I talked about the component of tools. I talked about how the tools that you can use all across the seven aspects to help you to maintain, to either to troubleshoot in case that you're having a challenge in anything, to maintain what you already have, and to upgrade, and to taking everything that you have in the aspect to the next level, because growth has no end to it. So those are the tools that I talked about, the tools that you use, and the tools divided into three parts. There's supernatural, you have supernatural tools, you have natural tools, and you have artificial tools. So I'm not going to explain that to the video. If you want to listen to what I said about that, then you can watch the video before before this one. So this one, I'm going to talk about the I don't have a word for it yet, but I would say the component is called MCM. The first M standing for mentorship, and then the second, and then the letter C standing for colleagueship, and then the last M standing for menteeship. So in this MCM component, you have the tool component, then now you have the MCM component. Now the MCM component also works across the board, across all the aspects of the seven aspects of life. You apply them on on each and every aspect, and as many times as you desire to. So mentorship is pretty much, a lot of people know what mentorship is, but what mentorship is really is somebody who is where you want to be and is willing to teach what he has learned to help other people get to where they are. That's what a mentor is. Somebody there's people who are where you want to be but are not willing to teach you how to get there. So that's not a mentor really, and also mentor could be an A student. It's A student. Say if you're in class and you're getting D's, you and there's a person in your class that's getting A's, you can ask them, compare notes to how they study, how you study, how you absorb information, and how they, compare notes and just start imitating how he does it. Now, he might have a natural inbuilt ability to just be good in academics, and you might not, but still, I believe that if you imitate what he is doing, chances are you're going to get the results that he's getting. And eventually, once you kind of I believe that first when you learn, I think the best thing to do is just copy somebody, be a copycat. Exactly what they're doing is exactly what you do. But eventually, once you start a little bit of mastering what it is that he does, then you can personalize it. It's just like when you're trying to learn how to ride a bike. When you listen to the person who's teaching how to ride the bike, you listen to every word he says is what you do. You're not trying to innovate. It's not the stage of innovation. It's when you're learning, when you from scratch, you don't know how to ride a bike, you follow every instruction that he gives you, because you're empty in that particular aspect. You're empty in that particular area. So you listen to everything he says and you just copycat. If he's riding a bike, teaching how he does it, you copy him to the T, to the dot, to the last period of sentence that he says. And then eventually, when you get better at it, you can personalize it. So that's what a mentor is. You just copy what they do, and eventually, when you get really good, then you have the qualifications. You have you're qualified to personalize it. So mentors, that's what it is. So you might not be as good as they are in maybe the natural aspect of life, where maybe it's easier for them, but still, still just copy what they do, because they have the results that you're looking for. So why not giving them a hard time either? So that's a mentor. And you can mentorship, you can have as many mentors as you want. In the spiritual aspect, you can have a mentor, like in the spiritual aspect, there's involves talking to your maker, your creator. There's reading holy scriptures. There's meditation on holy scriptures. There's music, music that it lifts your spirit up. Spiritual music. All music is spiritual, but I'm talking about the kind that focuses on the creator. And there's gathering together of people who have the same belief. So all these things are part of the spiritual aspect of life. You can have a mentor on all of them. You can have a mentor on each and every one of those things, or one mentor who's good at all of them. You can have a mentor who teaches you how to talk to your creator. You can have, because they're really good at it. You can have a mentor that teaches you how to best read the holy scriptures, best how to meditate. You can have a mentor for each and every one of them. And you don't have to have, if you're with them face to face, that's great. But if not, then I'm sure there's YouTube is amazing. The internet is amazing. You can search and find somebody who you really want to emulate. You really want to imitate. And copy them, or read a book. There's books out there that people have written on how to get to a certain level that you want to get to. So eventually, you'll be able to gravitate towards a certain person that you kind of identify with. So there's no limit to how many mentors you can have. So now that's the spiritual aspect. When it comes to like another aspect, say like financial aspect. You know, you can have so because in the financial aspect, there's many little subsections to it. You know, for example, you know, investing. You can have a mentor who teaches you how to invest your money once you earn it, like at your job. You know, like Warren Buffett, you can read his books. You can, you know, you can watch his YouTube videos, or wherever it is that he talks. You can go to his seminars. You see, so you don't really have to have a face-to-face with him. And then when it comes to earning money, how do you make money? How can you increase your income? There's people out there who teach how to do that. So just in the financial aspect, you could have 3, 4, 5 mentors just in the financial aspect only. You can afford 3, 4, 5 mentors just in the spiritual aspect only. You know, so there's no limit how many you can have. But what works for me best is I want to have one person that I listen to the most. You know, and the others I kind of like, you know, they kind of like chip in on what it is that then I'm trying to learn. But there's that one particular person that I admire the most. Like, for example, when it comes to bodybuilding, because I that's one of my passions, is bodybuilding. I look for the person who like is like a champion in that particular field. And for me, it's what's his name, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, I love the way he looks. You know, I'm not saying I'll ever become as big or as structured or as symmetrical or as ripped as he was, but at least, you know, if I work towards getting there, I might not get to his level, or I might, never know, but you know, it's going to be easier for me than me trying to experiment. Now I know that his body and my body are not the same, but as I continue to listen to his instructions, I can eventually start personalizing it to where it suits me best. But still, it's all like integrated with what he's teaching. It's all integrated. This an interesting thing about here online, pretty cool. So anyway, that's what a mentor is. So even in the physical aspect, you can have somebody who mentors you on bodybuilding, somebody else mentors you on the right foods to eat. You can be mentored on whatever it is that you want. You know, look for somebody who's already ahead of you, because somebody will always be ahead of you. There's somebody who's always going to be behind you, somebody always going to be ahead of you, no matter how great you are. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger had mentors. He had mentors too, and yet you know, him being him, everybody has mentors. So it just makes life easier. It removes all the guesswork out of everything that you're trying to do. So why guess? Why experiment? Why try things out when somebody has already tried it and worked or didn't work? You know, especially if you're starting at the beginning part of anything. You know, have mentors for every aspect, you know, of life, and in every aspect, all the sub aspects in that aspect. You know, have as many mentors as you need to have. You know, when it comes to raising children, when it comes to marriage, you know, somebody who has a great marriage, reading a great book about marriage, ask them questions. How did they do it? How are they doing it? You know, the A student, I call it, look for the A student in everything that you're trying to do. Look for the A student, a mentor, okay? An A student who's willing to share the information with you. You know, so, and then the next one is the colleagueship. I call that colleagueship. You need somebody, a friend who walks the path with you as you daily live and serve your purpose and giftings to others. You know, as you walk your path, somebody who walks with you, encourages you. They are your like a cheerleader. They are your fertilizer. When you're down, they're like, you know, they don't just accept you being down. They you know, they encourage you to get up and keep moving. They cheer you on when you're moving. They admire you. They praise you in front of, you know, your friends, and you do the same for them too. It's not just a one-way thing. So you need a colleague, somebody who walks with you. Your mentor is not your friend. Your mentor is not supposed to be your friend. He's supposed to be the kind of person who's tough on you. You know, if you're slacking off, you should give him permission to be able to get on you. That is, if you're doing a face-to-face, you know, a one-on-one type thing. You know, if not, then you can watch a video that you get on yourself. You know, that's the best way, really. Don't wait for somebody to get on you. Get on yourself if you need to do that. And so that's a colleague. A colleague, I call it colleagueship, is find people, one or two people. You don't have to, if you find many, fine, but one or two people who are always cheering you on. You can share what you learned. They share what you learn. You're sharpening each other. You're encouraging each other. You're walking together on this path. You know, so that's colleagueship. And you should have that it could be one person, you know, across the board, you know, or you can have many colleagues. You can have a colleague that you walk with when it comes to spiritual things, that you share spiritual things with, that you can have a guy who, like, your workout partner. Your workout partner might not be your spiritual colleague. Your workout colleague might not be your spiritual colleague. Your financial colleague might not be your social aspect colleague. So you can have different colleagues. You can have different people in those areas, because the guy who maybe that partners with you in your workout sessions might not be as at a high level when it comes to spiritual things. They might have a different opinion on that, but they're really good at being a workout partner. So you don't throw them away because of that, you know. So you could have different colleagues, just like you have different mentors in every aspect, in every sub aspect. As many as you need, you can have colleagues in these areas too. You know, I mean, don't over, but if as many as you can handle, because you need somebody to help you get up when you fall. You know, the mentor will do it, yes, but he'll do it in a more like a strict. He might be more strict with you, but the colleague will be more understanding, perhaps, and you need somebody who can do that for you. So a colleague, as many as you need in every aspect, and then last but not least, you will need a mentee. Now, a menteeship is what I call it, mentorship. You know, so a menteeship, that's pretty much just means somebody who after you found the knowledge of whatever it is you want to get better at, you've understood the knowledge and you've been applying the knowledge and it's been working for you or not working for you, then you need somebody who you pour this information onto. You know, anybody. It could be your colleague, but it has to be somebody who's lower than you. You know, and mostly for me, it's it has to start with the people closest to you. If you have children, start with them. Start teaching them early about investing money. Start teaching them early about earning money, like what it takes to earn money. Start teaching them early how to be givers, you know, of money. Because there's only 3 things you can do with money. Only 3. Once you earn it, that is. Once you earn the money, 3 things you can do with money. You either you give it away, you give up a portion of it away, you invest it, and you spend it. So investing, giving it away, investing, and spending. That's why you notice a lot of people who are super wealthy give out to charities. They understand this concept. So you'll notice that they give away a lot of money, they invest a lot of money, and they spend money. So if you do only 2 of them, you'll be out of balance. If you only do 1, you're out of balance. It has to be 3 of them. So you might have you might teach your kids how to do that, how to earn the money, and once they get it, what do they do with it? And there's no age to, you know, I think that you can start teaching them as early as they start talking, as early as them starting to understand you, you know, in a way, as they 3-4 years old. There's no age limit to how early you can start teaching them about money, start teaching them about how to eat healthy, start teaching them how to become their purposes. You start watching them to see what it is that the Creator has put in them that might give you a clue of why it is that they are here on earth to do. You know, so you need I started with my kids. You know, I started with my kids, and whatever I learned, I pour it out on them. Now they don't always appreciate me doing that. Might get mad at me sometimes, which is normal, human beings. But it doesn't stop me. It doesn't stop me from teaching them what I need to learn. And right now, I can tell you, after as the older they get, the older, especially one of my sons, the older he gets, the more he's thankful that I didn't just you know, just I didn't give up when he was like giving me a hard time when it came to me pouring what it is that I'm learning. So everything I learn, I'm learning. I'm reading a book. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm listening to people smarter than me, and I pass it on to them. Now, obviously, not going to be everything, but it's just a habit that he knows that so when Dad learns something, he passes it on to me. Because, and then after that, then you pass it on to the people around you. So you have to start with the people who are close to you. If you don't have kids, the friends next to you. But this is the key. Now with children, you do have a right to teach them, like you do have a right to, whether they like it or not. And I'm not saying like force them, but you can customize it to where the kids, to their personality. Okay, you can customize it to the kids' personality, where that it's going to be, somebody just texted me. It's going to be personalized to them, so you can teach them what it is that you're learning. You're passing on the information. And I noticed that the more I share information, first with my kids and then with the people around me, the more I tend to gain information. It's just like a lake. A lake receives water and gives water away. And because that water remains fresh, because it's receiving and giving, you end up getting like life. Plenty of life living in that lake that feeds a lot of people. So it has to be a flow of information, and information is like a candle. It's like a candle, a lit candle that lights up another candle. When you light up somebody else's candle, when their candle was not lit up, your flame doesn't diminish. He doesn't take away anything, out of your flame. Your flame still remains the same. Even if I lit up 1,000 candles, my flame will still remain the same. So it's not like they're taking anything away from you. So if you don't have kids, start with people around you. And this is the key, though. With kids, that you have to you do it where they I'm not saying force them, but they understand that their parents are trying to. It's like you kind of have a. What's the word I'm looking for? You kind of have a not a right really, but it's kind of, because you're the parent, they really can't get away from you, in the sense that you can tell them what they need to hear. They might get mad at you, but you still tell them anyway. But with other people, even if they're around you, if it's your friends, if they don't want to hear what you have to say, because you see, the key thing is, when it comes to people who are outside your family, or people who are like grown-ups, like say maybe your wife or a brother-in-law or sister, if they don't want to hear what you have to say, you go learn something and you think it might help them, and you try to talk to them and they don't want to hear it, then you can't force them. You only talk to those. They just eliminated themselves from that situation, whereby you're like, okay, I guess you're not interested in me sharing what I have to learn. So you go look for the next person who does want to know. And I don't mean like go sit them down and just casually sharing. Like me and when I'm driving and my son's in the car, we'll just talk about it casually. And sometimes we would meet once a week, and I would talk to him. I would ask him how his day was going, and would go through each and every aspect of life. How's your spiritual aspect of life going? How's your soul life going? How's your your physical life going? How's your financial life going? And we'll talk all the way through to the last aspect, which is the duplication. Are you talking to your friends? That's what I'd ask him. Are you talking to your friends about the things that you're learning? And because when you talk to your friends, when you learn, the key thing is you should learn. The best way to learn is to teach something. When you're learning something, let it be in your subconscious that you're learning this thing to teach someone. And that makes you learn it in a more intense way, because you don't want to teach them the wrong thing. You don't want to pass the wrong information. So you're more focused. You're more, your learning antennas are make you more intensely focused on what you're learning, because you know that at one point or another you're going to be passing this information to somebody else. So you're being very keen. You have to consider them. So you learn to teach. That's the key. Everything you're learning, it's not for you, it's for you and for others. Everything you learn. You know, it's for you and for others, for you and for others. So you're not just learning for you, you're learning for others too. Those people will learn stuff and don't want to share. I'm not talking about sharing secrets or, you know, corporate secrets or government secrets or business secrets. I'm talking about that things that you know will benefit other people. You know, those people who just learn and don't share, they tend to not get any more. So they say that it is better to give than to receive. And the reason why they say it's better to give than to receive is because the person who gives ends up getting multiple more than what they gave, because their doors are wide open. That's why it's better to give than to receive. You know, one of the reasons why. I'm sure there are many others, but that's one of them. You end up opening your doors to receive even more. Okay, so those are I call it the component of MCM: mentorship, colleagueship, and menteeship. So you're holding somebody's hand who's pulling you up to a higher level. You have somebody who's walking with you, encouraging you to keep going. Your colleagueship, mentor is pulling you up to a higher level. Colleagueship is encouraging you, hey, keep going, cheering you on. And then the mentee, you're pulling them up. So they're looking at you the way you're looking at your mentor is the way they're looking at you. So you all of you are like pulling each other up. Right, you're helping each other up, and you know, pulling somebody up is not easy. It's easier to pull somebody down than to pull somebody up. So that means it takes work to pull somebody up. But hey, you know, it's the best way to go. It's the only way to go. Is up. You know, so might as well just do it. So that is what I was going to talk about on this video, the MCM component. Mentorship, colleagueship, and menteeship. Now, mentees, by the way, somebody who you're mentoring, you could have more than one. You could be, if you've gone to a level where you can teach somebody on how to on bodybuilding, for example. So if you're really good at bodybuilding, and somebody who's at a lower level than you could be mentoring them. Maybe you're not mentoring them on all the 7 aspects of life. Maybe you're mentoring them on only one aspect, or maybe even one sub aspect of that. Why not? You know, if maybe you're mentoring, like my son, I mentor him on all the 7 aspects. My daughter too. You know, working out, spiritual stuff, financial, all these things. You know, we talk about it all the time. But you might have one person who you only mentor on spiritual stuff. They might not be interested in any other thing, or you might not be as good. So it just depends. So and a mentee is, if they're not in your circle, if they're not your kids, then you have to look for somebody who is interested in what you have. But your kids have, I almost want to say they have no choice, to where that they have no choice to like whether they want to hear what you have to say or not. But that means that you have to be careful. You have to be constantly studying and understanding and growing and bringing them good material. You know, you have to be careful. You have to make sure that you're teaching them the right thing. And if you do teach them the right thing, or you end up teaching them the right thing, but that ended up being wrong, you know, you change it, you correct them, you make sure you let them know before they keep on going into the wrong path, thinking it's the right path. And it has really helped my son. It helped my son more than I would have ever imagined that it would help him right now. One day I'm going to put him on one of my channels and have and just interview him and just have a chat with him, you know, so we can see his side of the whole issue. He even thanks me sometimes. He says, "Thank you so much for showing me these things." Right now he's wiser than so many people who are much older than him. He's only 19. His wisdom is beyond a lot of people who are twice his age, and because of that. And that'll be a video. I'll make a video for that on another day, on what like out of my experience I did to get him to where he's like super, not just smart but also wise. Because wisdom is knowing when to do, what to do, when to do it, who to do it to, and who to do it with. You know, what to do, the right thing to do. Wisdom is knowing the right thing to do at the right time, to the right person, with the right person. So that's what wisdom is. So if you're in a situation and you know how to solve it the right way, at the right time, with the right person, or to the right person. That's what wisdom is all about. So with that, I'm gonna end this video, and I will see you on the next one. MCM. Bye.